Welcome back, America, to the News from the Real World podcast. I'm Quinn,
Atitra,
Eleanor.
and you'll be glad to know that I am not leading any of these discussion topics on this segment. Take it away, Eleanor.
There will be all girls.
It's the lady time now.
Alright.
Lady time. Just had man time, now it's lady time.
Alright, so this next article is called Artists Who Create Strange New Worlds Using Nothing But Thread. It's by Jordan Cushions and it comes to us from Gizmodo and it's a student pick. And this is one of these articles that's a little bit hard to talk about because it's very visual.
Yeah, you gotta see
Basically,
it.
this article is profiling 7 artists who all create works of art, installations, paintings, all of that, not paintings, but sort of visual art with all just using thread. And they are amazing.
Amazing.
You just have to check it out.
So
Made me think of a couple
fabulous.
of installations that we had here earlier.
Absolutely, yeah. So playing with like line and form and colour and kind of things floating off into the distance.
And creating a kind of hazy effect in a room.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And
It's gorgeous.
You can look at it all day.
One of the words that was used to describe it in the article was ephemeral and sculptural. And they were talking about one particular artist, but I thought that was like equally applicable to like all of them. They were like both kind of physical and sculptural, but also just kind of ephemeral and sort of like of the ether. It was just, they were just beautiful.
It made me want to do a play with something like that as my set.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be cool.
Yeah,
You
very
do something
cool.
with that.
What was your favorite?
I like the one that like glows in the dark. That can I explain it? Yeah, there's like the glow,
Yeah.
like neon things.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
super
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
I love the
Actually-
web one.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
black.
the last
kind of-
one?
Yeah,
So that artist
Yeah.
has an installation at the Mattress Factory in Pittsburgh at the moment. So if you wanted to check that
I
out.
do.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Amazing.
Chihao Shiota, Traces of Memory.
Right.
Yeah, so everybody can go check that out. My favourite was the one that was kind of like the walls that had all been created
Yeah.
with thread. And I couldn't really tell from the picture, but it seemed like you could maybe like walk through. I wasn't sure
Huh.
if it was like flat or
Yeah.
three-dimensional. But yeah, that was
I
beautiful.
also like the one from I think the British artist, that it looked like they installed it in like a sewer, like an old sewer where I don't know,
Yeah.
pretty neat.
They're all beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely check
Incredible.
it out.
Excellent.
Artists who create with thread.
Now for something completely different.
Moving on to ballet.
Ballet.
Yeah, ballet is in crisis because it's turning into a sport. And yes, this is by Alice Robb from NewRepublic.com, and this is an editor pick. So, question: would you consider ballet as a sport or not? Right.
Well,
You're asking me?
Yes, we are.
I definitely think it's an art form, but it has the physical discipline and athleticism that a sport requires as well.
Well, it makes me think about how there was a line of training for a while in the National Football League where football players would go and study ballet.
Yeah,
Mm.
because some kind of
Which-
ballerina say
To get a
that
physical
there are
shape.
artists, and some say that we almost like an athlete because we practice so
Incredibly
hard.
athletic.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a lot of hard work. And well, what happened now is that now they consider like the kind of questions
Well, they're
Yeah.
starting to do ballet competition.
competitions.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
how high can your leg get up? How
Mhm.
many pirouettes can you
Very
do in a row?
technical.
Now it's like
And
it
it's-
happens
it's
a lot
sort of-
in the artwork, right? Like
Made me sad.
jazz and both like music and ballet. So now we are like, which side are we way more like artistic way or the like techniques, like
Right.
which side are we like more consider like now more focus on how you consider like this person is a great ballerina because of her techniques or her like the way she presented it.
I thought that segment where they were talking about George Balanchine and how he picked his dancers, not necessarily the most physically gifted, but the most interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Carol Summers say, like to be a great dancer doesn't mean that you have to have a great technique.
Right.
I love that a lot. Yeah.
They mentioned Susan Jaffe, the dean of the School of Dance from UNCSA, and she says this makes a similar point.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ballet at its heart is storytelling, and
Yeah.
so you need to be expressive, and so if you might have the technique, but you also need to be able to perform and act and tell a story with your body and feel.
So maybe
Well, now they've cut out the art, I guess.
Yeah.
They're starting to. It's just purely physical competition.
Yes.
That's what's starting to
Let's
happen. I
say-
don't know. I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah. What they say at the end is not. It's not to say that ballet is not like inherently competitive, but there's a difference between competitive rivalry and formalized competition. Hormones right where ballet today suffer from too much athleticism and fear from failing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I like this comments from Nano Treasure Extra, which say, "This is exactly what drove me out of ballet. I want to be a professional. I had a good technique, but nothing like the girls who could do circus tricks. But unlike those girls, I feel ballet deep down in my soul. I was my artistic expression. I would get crushed and competition because I didn't have crazy moves. It shouldn't be about competition or who can do the craziest move. This isn't what ballet is about. And it honestly doesn't affect young children negatively. I've seen it firsthand."
There you go.
Interesting.
Wow.
Wow. Well, let's on to the next topic.
Great.
Art of self-immersion.
Okay, this is The Art of Self-Immersion. It's an editor pick from stagedirections.com, and it's by Brian Reisman. And this is an interview with Cynthia Von Bueller, who is the creator of a show called Speak Easy Dollhouse, which is playing in Manhattan. at the
Lower
moment.
East Side,
Lower
yeah.
East Side, yeah. And this is it's like an immersive show where the audience come and they're given a part to play, and it's based on the creator's own investigation into her grandfather's murder, and he was Frank Spano, a Prohibition-era speakeasy owner, and he died, and it wasn't very clear what
Yeah.
happened, and so she
Yeah.
went investigating into that, and then has created the show where the audience are playing parts, and it's traversing time of 1930 to 1935, figuring out, uncovering this murder mystery, which
It's
I
fun,
thought was,
man.
sounded amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. It really ties to what we'll get into with the next article. But
Yes.
this thing's been a huge hit because in particular because the audience
Audience
participation.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Kind of cool too. So.
And I like how she says it it incorporates all her talents and skills as an artist because she's written children's books. She builds doll houses just for
Yes.
fun. She's into set building and painting and illustration, graphic novels, and she's a performance artist. So way to find your niche.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of comments on the article about I don't know if this is a theatre or if this is performance art, which, to be frank, I don't necessarily think those distinctions are useful or necessary. But
Those labels.
yeah, that Kat Megendorf had a very interesting comment, which was, "People don't realise how much more work it is than a straightforward proscenium piece. Everything needs to be planned and thought out, and a lot more eventualities planned for and rehearsed."
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting insight into how you make immersive theatre.
Completely. Well, you do somewhat similar. You've done somewhat similar things. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the last piece I did was sort of similar to this in that it was roaming. It was a big house party or a big party, and the audience were.
Oh, that's
it was a
the other.
party.
She likes throwing parties, and this
Yeah.
is meant to be a big party.
Yeah, I like.
But yeah, did you have to play out all the possible outcomes?
Yeah, I mean, we worked
it's
on
like
it.
cheating ahead to choose your own adventure.
Totally, it was
Yeah.
we were every day moving bits and pieces of paper around on a big table, and then every week we tried out a new bit of the show with a test audience, because you just don't know what they're going to do, so you have to practice.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you have to practice
Very cool.
with them. And the thing that I found really interesting is that those people who were coming to be our test audience were so engaged in the show and its success, and had loved contributing to the development of it, that they were just our biggest fans and our biggest advocates for promoting and marketing the show. It was, So they were a big part of its success.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of takes us to our next topic about the
This
audience.
is a good segue.
Yeah,
Yes.
disvalue of arts.
Just value of the arts. When did it occur? And
Yep.
this is by Shoshana Finisa, and this is an editor pick from Audience Development Specialist blog. So, what is the root? Is the question of she's like question us, what is the root of this value for the art? When was it first take place? So she was drawn back to like I recall the research of transition of the audience from the light into the dark.
Yeah, the advent of the light bulb. We can
the
all
invention of the
blame
light bulb.
Thomas
Like-
Edison for ruining the
Bad.
arts. Thomas Edison
Really?
ruined the arts.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean that. So she
Suddenly, the audience is the
we
stage
kind
is
of
made
like have a
brighter,
barrier between.
and the audience is dark.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and that's why all these current theatres that we have developed from like not, you know, like the Globe, Shakespeare's Globe, we
Yeah.
were all in the space together.
Yes.
Suddenly we
Completely.
want to put like, we have to create these prosceniums so we can have that bit lit and the audience bit dark.
Yeah.
And
we
they just
don't
And
come
we
have
have
that.
that legacy today, and so because we have all those buildings, that's why we have the style of theatre that we have.
Yes,
Completely.
completely true.
But there's a real yearning now in the public, and we see the shows that have become very successful, like the Speakeasy show downtown, or like I didn't particularly care for Sleep No More, but I mean you can't argue how popular it's been.
Yes.
It's an ongoing thing because the audience becomes a part of the
I think
piece.
actually like audience like to be part of the show.
Completely.
Right. I remember like one time I went to like Woman in Black. We're back to Women in Black. And it's like one time that I went to this production where like they're completely in darkness, and then you don't know whether what they're gonna do, and then like one day they just like shout out and they scream and they like, and it's very cool. And like we just not like sitting there and like look at what's going on the stage. I think it's like this is like as the audience we should have. We should be part of it.
Completely.
Yeah.
Your last piece, audience. You didn't devalue the audience. I devalued
Yeah.
the audience in my piece.
No, that's not what the that's not what the idea is.
I kept them in the dark. You brought up the lights on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eleanor doesn't devalue her audience.
That's not what the article is saying. The article is using that light and dark
I know.
as a metaphor for the way that audiences are kind of alienated and distanced from the
Completely.
theatre.
From the theatre.
Any theatres.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Which the
understood
student,
that.
I know. I just wanted to make that clear
I was
for our
just
audience.
teasing you.
Okay, but the student commenters, anytime an article is on the blog suggesting that theatre isn't the most important and the most relevant thing in the world, they get so up
the
in
knickers
arms.
getting a twist.
Yeah, they get so angry, and it's great because I love it because they want to defend their art form. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
completely. Yeah. Do you have a
Okay.
student comment for us?
Oh, you guys said it all already.
No,
It's a comment.
Comment.
Yeah.
You got a comment for us?
I don't have a comment from it. No,
No?
no,
All right, well,
no,
that's
alright.
okay. No
Okay.
comments, sorry.
sorry.
Well, that concludes, rather clumsily, our second segment today. Join us again, America. I'm Quinn.
I'm Eleanor.
And a Chitra.
See you soon.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh,
It's a funny one today, isn't it?
Yeah.